odds are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Your Razorbacks are 2021 SEC champions, and Baum-Walker Stadium is an insane asylum.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in on this Thursday to halftime on the first day of July. We've made it through the first 6 months of 2021. It's the halfway point. Goodness gracious.
We made it.
That. Well, I don't know exactly. I never do like the half thing, or you like celebrate half-year birthdays. I stopped that at the age of 20.
Half-year resolution? You got a second half of the year resolution you want to do?
I don't even do beginning of the year resolutions. That's one of my get off my lawn things. I don't do New Year's resolutions because those things never last more than 2 hours after they're decided upon. I don't do new relationships, like to do the month anniversary or the half a year anniversary or whatever it is like that. It's just
so your year
1st.
marker. That's it. As far as relationship, no. Oh my gosh, we've been dating for 5 months. That's so great. Happy anniversary.
Once we get to New Year's Eve, if we do a show that day or a day before that, you'll hear my philosophy about this. This isn't really any special. This is just an artificial construct moving from one number to the next, and it's, I guess, some reason to have a party and have some drinks and set off some things in the sky.
Which I'm all for. I'm all for blowing stuff up and drinking.
But you can do that any day of the week, Drew. Man.
Yeah, but it's more special. It's more special, Phil, this coming Sunday and New Year's Eve when it's socially acceptable for me to be out till 4 a.m. drunk. I can't do that on Wednesday, on a random Wednesday. I might get fired if Ty and Tommy found out I was out drinking till 4 a.m. and then walked in here at 5:15. But on New Year's Eve, I don't get fired.
One thing I would hope you don't do, which for some reason I thought this happened to me on July 4th, but it didn't. This was a New Year's Eve thing. I woke up New Year's Day. I didn't realize it until I went to work a couple of days later, and I was asked by somebody I work with, "Who'd you tick off?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, there's a bullet hole in the roof of your car." People who shoot bullets into the sky sometimes don't realize that gravity works.
Yeah, they
thought
do
they
come
went
down
into outer space.
Yeah, they try to shoot the moon. The whole term is shoot the moon, and realize you actually can't do that, at least not with anything you've got in your house. All right, we're with you for the next couple of hours at 877-377-6963. They will be having celebrations before July 4th in Starkville, Mississippi, and I'm sure in many other of the large metropolises across the state of Mississippi, with the exception of Oxford.
I think there really is only one metropolis of sorts, and that's Jackson, Mississippi. And that's not even that big.
That's why I use the term with a wink, nudge, and a sneer on my face. But, I remember yesterday, Drew, I spent most of the first segment talking about Kumar Rocker, who, if the word star in college baseball, Rocker was a star from 2 years ago, more so than Jack Leiter, who nobody knew until this year. Rocker coming into this season was probably the most well-known college baseball player in the country. And he didn't have it last night, not at all. On 4 days rest, did not have anything resembling the stuff that he usually does, and certainly a lot of his stuff was left up. Throwing error in the first inning helps open the door for State. And I was so impressed watching Bednar pitch yesterday, Drew, because I've seen Bednar, even in a game where the Razorbacks swatted him around, he still struck out 2 batters per inning. He had struck out 15 Texas Longhorns in his previous start in 6 innings, or that was the first time he pitched against Texas. You kind of forget all the games that they pitched against them. And yet yesterday on short rest, 3 days rest, he didn't go after the strikeouts. He pitched to contact. And I find that so impressive when somebody is able to adjust the way that they're pitching based upon, and on the sometimes you change that based upon the hitters you're going up against. He'd already faced Vanderbilt before, and this to me looked like a pitcher that knew, he needed to rely more on movement, on location, on changing speeds, and he made Vanderbilt look like they had no idea what to do with that bat yesterday. Will Bednar wins MVP of the College World Series, rightfully so. Congratulations to Mississippi State for winning that first.
Is that hard to get out there?
Yeah, kind of. I have reasons to feel good about it because of some of the people I know there and the years that they've put into that program. And it also, I wonder for Razorback fans when you, and I know you hate watching any SEC team celebrate, especially a team that hadn't won a championship yet, and you felt like this was the year for the Hogs. Does watching a team that in recent memory, this athletic department, Drew, has been the second place team. Like they finished second place in 2014 in the College World Series. Mm-hmm. They were runner-up in women's basketball twice.
Back-to-back years, yeah.
This all within the last 7 or 8 years. So if anybody would feel that they were cursed, maybe recently it'd be Mississippi State. Seeing that happen last night, does that give you any hope, Razorback fans, that Arkansas baseball is going to win that elusive first national championship? I tell you, I've been saying they're on the edge. I think it'll happen sooner rather than later. When you see a team like Mississippi State, like a program that in many ways mirrors what you have at Arkansas, for me, it says this is right around the corner for this Arkansas baseball program too.
If you're a person out there that does believe in curses and believes that Arkansas is snake bit and there's nothing they can possibly do other than hire the right voodoo lady to whip up the right type of potion, stick the right needle in the right voodoo doll to get the curse gone, it kind of should help you feel a little bit better, seeing Mississippi State finally getting their first national championship in baseball and first one in school history. I mean, you go back to Cubs not too long ago getting their first in 104 years, breaking that curse, obviously the long curse of the Bambino with the Red Sox. So whether curses are real or not, they can be broken, and it will eventually be Arkansas's day. Was it yesterday? No. Will it be next year? It quite possibly could be. I mean, we know Dave Van Horn and his staff are going to reload and replace everything that they lost this year. Now it's going to be hard to replace a guy like Kevin Kopps, but just short of that, they're going to reload. They're going to be a favorite going into the college baseball season next year of not only just making it to Omaha, but outright winning it. So I think you should still feel good about where you are, because every year going forward, as long as everything keeps going the way that it has, you're still right there. There's no really looking up up to the top of the hill. You're already there. You just got to make sure you don't fall off and start rolling down come June.
Well, you might just have a couple of programs in this league right now that are a step ahead of you just because they have recent national championships. 877-377-6963 for your calls and texts. We're still begging for your votes for your favorite show on ESPN Arkansas. Halftime, of course, would be the only answer, but you can still vote for the Morning Rush, Ruskin and Zach. And we've got Robert in Fort Smith on hold here. And I guess, Robert, I don't know if you've called in to give us your very valuable votes for the highly scientific ESPN Arkansas popularity poll, but I think because usually you're here to talk about baseball. What's up, Robert?
Well, two things. I like to be honest. I find your show more insightful. So, yeah, I like your show. I like Tommy and them, but you forget that I really like the Bill guy from Tennessee when he had his own show. I enjoy listening to him.
Very good. Well, there's a nice, honest answer, Robert, but I know that's not what you called for. Go for it.
I'm disappointed today because I wanted Vanderbilt to win. I ain't going to lie, because that was the team that I thought would win it all if we weren't there, and they just – Kumar hasn't had it the last several games. And, no, the curse, as long as you're not number one seed, you'll be fine.
See, now, that's a real curse. I might believe in that one because it's been since Miami in 99.
That's just a fact of a stat. That's all it is. It's just a stat, and it sucks. But, don't be
that's
number
the first
one.
Time, Robert, that's the first. No, I don't know if you've actually referred to it as a curse before, but people call it the curse of the number one seed. I like the way you put it. It's just a stat. It's a fact until it isn't a fact anymore. Sooner or later, that fact won't be a fact. Appreciate the call, Robert. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, Robert.
All right, you got it. Yeah, that's the first thing. The day that the bracket came out, Robert called and reminded us about this curse of the number 1 overall seed, which I told him, it's like, look, Arkansas may or may not win it, but that's not going to be the reason why. That will not be the reason why. But the fact is a fact, and it still is a fact. Blake has given us a call, too, here on Halftime. Blake, what's going on?
Hey, Phil, I wanted to ask, man, who do you think, other than Cops, what's the biggest loss that the baseball team is going to suffer this year? And who do you think, as far as guys coming in, we should be the most excited about?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I haven't really seen the incoming players yet. I just know some of the things that I've read, and I don't want to necessarily point to somebody until I've seen them. So I think I'd rather wait until the fall series in October when I do get my eyes on these incoming freshmen and into the JUCO transfers that have come in. I'd rather go by something that I've seen rather than something that I've read.
Of course.
And so, but on the idea of who's the toughest to replace, I mean, I think it might be Christian Franklin. And that also goes to the idea of whether or not Jalen Battles returns or doesn't. And the reason that I say either one of them is that it's really difficult to replace the job that either one of those guys does in the field. Christian Franklin, I think, is the best center fielder that I've seen in my time doing Razorback games, and that counts Andrew Benintendi, and that also counts Dominic Fletcher. I think Franklin is a tremendous center fielder, and Jalen Battles is an amazing shortstop. He's a major league shortstop moving forward. Whether he comes back or not, which at least publicly he's said on Twitter, 50-50, I think that'd be tough to replace his fielding at shortstop specifically. I think he's going to be a really good hitter eventually, but I think it'd be
he's got a great glove.
He's a great shortstop, and that stood out when I saw him at the fall series. I wouldn't have been able to tell you coming in, based upon anything I read, that Jalen Battles was something special at shortstop. The first time I saw him make a play at short, I'm like, yep, that's the guy. That's the guy. So Blake, call back in October, and I'll give you some thoughts on those guys.
Well, I had another question. Of all of the roster of this entire baseball team we had this year, who do you think is going to make the best pro?
Wow, and see, this is a really difficult question to answer, because when you look at this team, and Dave Van Horn has stated this publicly too, like there weren't any top of I'm talking first round pick superstars. You know, I mean, you had that with well, not from this draft, and that's interesting moving forward too. So there will be first rounders off of this team right now, just not out of this draft. So let's go in that direction. Robert Moore, I think, is going to be a big league second baseman.
He will be.
I think Robert Moore will be a first-round pick. I see Caden Wallace. Now, you can't always go by the freshman year. I really love what I see from Caden Wallace athletically and intelligently when it comes to baseball and the way he thinks through the game. I think Caden Wallace will be a first-round pick and a potential major leaguer moving forward. On the pitcher's mound, man, that's tough to see. Bubba always said he's interested to watch what Caden Monk does in the pros because he's got that natural movement on the cutter and a lefty who throws hard. He's going to be an interesting pitcher to watch. And I think Kevin Kopps will make it to the big leagues. I just don't know what role he will serve, but I think he'll get there. I don't know if he'll be a star, but I do think he'll get there. So there you go, Blake. And I think we got to take the break, so I appreciate your phone call, man. Thanks so much. 877-377-6963 on halftime. And we had to push, well, we didn't. Kendall Rogers had to push back to tomorrow because, well, he's flying commercially out of Omaha this morning, and his flight was delayed. So we'll have him tomorrow instead. And Bob Holt joins us in a couple of segments. We'll get in with Bob on this name, image, and likeness talk. This is day one, Drew, in the wild, wild west of college sports. And it is nuts. There's an interesting list of requirements. They call them key points to remember for Arkansas Razorback athletes, student athletes, on how they are able to capitalize on making money, profiting on their name, image, and likeness. We'll get into some of that and some of our thoughts on the new college athletics next on Halftime.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make
ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Well, I might have gone fishing. I got to thinking it over. The road to the river is a mighty long way.
Wallace back in. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards shortstop. Could be two. Fielded by Harrison. Gives it to Coleman. Coleman throws it away. Past first base. The Hogs are going to win. And they do. Robert Moore scores on a throwing error. The Aggies botch the double play. The Razorbacks win 2-1, and they sweep the doubleheader, and they have chased Caden Wallace all the way into center field.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
10 minutes away from Bob Holt joining us. I wonder if Bob... No, he can't do that because he works at the Democrat Gazette. I guess he could maybe. Have you seen student athletes now have their own logos?
I have seen those.
Their name, image, and logo likeness. The first one I saw yesterday came from Devo Davis, and it's a pretty cool logo, man. It looks like is that a couple of D's? I don't know what it is, but I'll remember I'll remember Devo Davis the next time I see these two large-looking, almost check marks. Well, one is a delta, like a Greek letter delta. I guess that would be the D, and the other looks like a red check mark. I like it. And Devo tweeted, I wonder if he could have set his tweet deck to put this out at 12:01 this morning, but this came out 16 hours ago. He says, as of July 1st, I will be able to capitalize on my name, image, and likeness. Any business, local or national, that would like to use me and or my social media as a platform to promote your business and or brand, please feel free to contact me.
Would you like me to tell you what that image is? That's a V and an O.
It's a V and an O?
Yes. Is that what you see, Drew? Or is this like one of those tests where if somebody sees a butterfly, the other person
I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it's a
open for interpretation.
Yeah, a white or black dress, one of those things. That is a V, and at the most part, a backwards D.
Is it an O? Is it a VO for Devo?
That's what I was thinking.
It could be VO for Devo.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, I saw Spencer Rattler's logo it has a rattler snake that makes the R.
Did you see Graham Mertz from Wisconsin's logo? It kind of looks like the old Nintendo GameCube logo.
Very good. See, I mean, now they got it. Now they're either coming up with it themselves, going to a digital graphic design class, or just paying somebody to do this because they can make.
I'm guessing they're paying somebody to do it.
Well, this is all about how to market yourself, man, and this goes along with the ability to make money off your name, image, and likeness. And Arkansas, Drew, stands out, I think, amongst some of the other programs because they were the first to hire an athletic director, deputy athletic director, specifically in charge of name, image, and likeness. That's Terry Prentice, who is going to join us on Halftime Wednesday next week to dig into some of this stuff. But the Wild Wild West starts today, and I guess sometime soon we might see, I don't know, some sponsored posts on Twitter. I don't go on TikTok. I go on Instagram maybe once a month or something like that. But I would imagine I'll see some of this on Twitter.
Well, I've already seen a few different athletes. Nobody from the University of Arkansas that have signed on with Yoke Gaming. It's a gaming site where people can pay to play with their favorite athletes.
Interesting.
Now that makes such perfect sense. That makes such perfect sense because now don't people pay to watch professional video gamers play too?
I mean I don't think they pay. Play with them. People just watch it. I think they get it, probably.
I think you can like tip them or something.
Yeah. This goes to show how much video gaming I do these days.
I can't tell you the last time I played a actual video game with a controller in my hand. So.
Well, and so much of this goes back to, so you sound differently than most of the other folks about your age. So much of this NIL for all of them goes back to when are we getting NCAA football, EA Sports?
Oh, no, I love that game. I need that. I need the EA Sports.
It's in the game. So now you sound like the rest of them. You sound exactly like Ty.
Those are the NCAA games. Madden, King Griffey Jr. baseball way back in the day, MLB The Show, Blitz, the sports games. Heck yes, I played. Now the Call of Duties and now the Fortnites. I've never played Fortnite before. I haven't played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, I think. So, and I played Halo on the original Xbox. But outside of that, I can't tell you another video game that I played. Oh, I was always an Xbox guy.
So then you're not MLB The Show. Isn't that a PlayStation?
It is, yeah.
There's a whole list of do's and do nots. Mostly, I guess, do nots. These are key points to remember for student athletes at Arkansas. Right there on the official Razorback website, arkansasrazorbacks.com/flagship. And this goes to, when you're a representative of the university, like I'm not allowed to go out there pushing big time products that I say I'm voice of the Razorbacks, buy a Chevy. You can't say that because Ford is the big sponsor for Arkansas athletics. And the athletes, I think it's going to be the exact same thing in that case. But there are other forms of business that they are not allowed to push. No tobacco-related products, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing sexually suggestive or sexually oriented products, no gaming.
So nobody's getting a deal with Trojan.
Nothing that deals with profanity, any sexist, xenophobic. You really have to just try to think about
fun stuff.
What projects better from that quote-unquote wholesome aspect of being a student athlete. Nothing.
Maybe they can sell like breakfast oatmeal.
Exactly. I think they'll be all over the breakfast oatmeal and yogurt and yoga classes, teaching yoga classes and all of that anyway. We got Bob Holt coming up after the break with us on Halftime. Dig into some of this NIL stuff and see what Bob thinks how this could change college athletics and whether or not the Razorback athletic department might have a bit of an edge over anybody else. So stay with us on Halftime.
It's time for the largest music festival in the River Valley, the Peacemaker Music Festival, featuring Cody Johnson, Paul Coffin, Muscatine Bloodline, Colby Cooper, and many more. The Peacemaker Music Festival, July 30th and 31st. For tickets and more info, visit peacemakerfest.com. Let's do this, Peacemakers!
Do you hear My Computer Career ads and think, I don't know anything about computers? Well, you don't have to. Before starting, many graduates could turn a computer on and off. And that's it. Now they're IT pros. You could do it too. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life in as little as 4 months. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Holt or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Do you want to work for a trucking company with state-of-the-art technology? A trucking company that will give you the tools to do your job and make a great living and come home safe? Of course you do. That company you want to work for is Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry. Brent and Connie Higgins genuinely care about your future and your family. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Call them today at 479-997-2366 or apply online at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Warmer weather is on the way. Don't wait till you're sweating in a hot car. Get to Cherokee Tire & More in Mansfield where they are ready to provide AC services for all of your vehicles. Whatever service you need for your vehicle, give Cherokee Tire & More a call for a time to come by. Cherokee Tire & More also has big truck and ATV tires along with truck accessories like rough country lift kits. Located at 700 Highway 71 North in Mansfield, Cherokee Tire & More is open Monday through Friday 7 to 5:30 and Saturday 7:30 till 2.
Attention, attention, do you have a fifth wheel, travel trailer, or motorhome that you don't get to use as often as you want? Well, Breeden RV has a solution. Breeden RV wants to buy your RV. Due to the historic events that have happened over the past year, RVs are in high demand and Breeden RV will pay you top dollar for yours. So push it, pull it, or drag it to Breeden RV in Van Buren today for your free appraisal and get cash in hand within an hour. Call Breeden RV at 479-262-2418 or visit them on the web at breedenrvs.com.
Sit comfortably on your patio or by the lake in a Four Seasons Courtyard Sunny Isles extra large zero gravity chair from Metters Lumber True Value. For only $49.99, this extra large sling fabric chair features a double bungee cord stability and a ring lock mechanism for an easy recline. Sturdy steel frame with rust protection coating holds up to 350 pounds. Matching folding side table is only $69.99 and has a sling fabric top with a cup holder. Pick up these bargains of the month today while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City!
Tate,
Guarded by Jurgen. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Tate in the lane. Gives it to Davis, right side. Short jumper. Devo good with 2.9 to play. Davis with a short jumper from the right side. Gives the Hogs the lead with 2.9 to play. 72-70. Oh, what a shot by the freshman from Jacksonville.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, Fantasy Football Sunday, and Primetime Preps. All available on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, hitthatline.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play.
All right, it is halftime. We're moving into our weekly conversation with Bob Holt, sports writer extraordinaire, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. And Bob, I wonder, I don't know if you were watching the College World Series game last night. I'm just guessing you might have been. When I watch Mississippi State celebrate, and I started kind of, I cringed a little just because it's another SEC team that wins a natty before the Razorbacks do. But I also see so many similarities between these programs, between Arkansas and Mississippi State. Ballparks, fan base, level of play for a long time now, history. This makes me think, and I don't believe in jinxes and curses and stuff like that. When I see a program like Mississippi State that's come so close before, it makes me believe even harder than I did the day before that the Razorback baseball program isn't just that close, but it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. You wish the game last night would have been a little more competitive. I mean, Mississippi State doesn't feel that way, but yeah, the way the Mississippi State crowd took over the stadium reminded you of what happened with Arkansas. I guess it was in 2018, and I'm sure that would have happened again if Arkansas was up there in Omaha. And the fact that the programs have both been good for so long, I couldn't help but think about I think it was 1986. I've been 87. No, I think it was 85. From my age here. Arkansas was up there in Omaha and played Mississippi State, and that's when they had Thunder and Lightning, Clark and Palmero. And I remember at Old Rosenblatt, this was weird, but we interviewed guys on the roof. I remember interviewing Will Clark up on the roof of Rosenblatt Stadium, going on close to 40 years ago. And, of course, Mississippi State's had a lot of great players. That particular team, I think, had 4 guys who made the major leagues, and they fell short. I mentioned Jeff King, who's the number 1 pick, played for Arkansas. And, I think there are a lot of similarities. Of course, Arkansas has won national championships in track and cross country and basketball, and shared a championship. But, I think you couldn't help but be happy for the Mississippi State folks. People can always wonder what if about North Carolina State, but Mississippi State, I think they won that fair and square on the field.
Now I know I heard you just say that you interviewed Will Clark on the roof at Rosenblatt Stadium. No, I've been on some roofs at minor league baseball parks. We weren't supposed to be on the roof when we were there, except in the one case in Tulsa where the phone lines went dead. So Mark Neely and I went to the roof at Driller Stadium and did 3 innings on our cell phones. Why were you interviewing Will Clark on the roof of Rosenblatt Stadium in 1985?
I really don't remember the circumstances, and it wasn't like this little area; it was a big area, and you didn't feel like you were, oh my God, I could fall off here or something. It was very safe, and but yeah, I mean, maybe talk to somebody. Maybe Norm would know this, but for some reason we were on the roof literally. There was a controversy of playing that game. I think it was whether or not Norm Roberts, who was an outfielder for the Hogs, caught a ball or not. I remember doing a story about that. And that was literally the day of the draft, too. I think Clark had been drafted by, I guess, the Giants, in top 5 or something. But, Old Rosenblatt Stadium had a lot of character, and it was a neat place. It was obviously a new ballpark. I call it new. I guess it's about 10 years old now, but it still seems new to me. But, I wish I could remember the circumstances better. You interview Will Clark on a roof, you don't forget that. So that's right. I don't remember exactly why we were up there. I don't think we had. I don't know if we had to climb a ladder or what happened. I think we probably took some stairs or something. I guess You know, that was an older ballpark, a AAA ballpark back in the 80s, and they didn't have interview room facilities, or maybe it would have been tough. You know, the team just coming through the stands. I mean, it was just a really different kind of atmosphere there, I guess. But yeah, I mean, to talk to somebody that's been around, and I don't think I've imagined that. I'm pretty sure I remember that accurately.
Well, Bob, for any Razorback fan that's still a little jealous or, I guess, down that it obviously wasn't their year and State won, can they at least take some gratitude in knowing that at least Ole Miss has to hear about it now for the end of time, that State was able to win one first before Mike Bianco and his great team?
Yeah, and of course, you know, Ole Miss is known for getting the regionals and maybe getting the super regionals, just having trouble getting to Omaha. I think maybe they've been there once or something, right? Phil probably knows that better than I do. But yeah, I'm sure the Ole Miss fans were not rooting for the Bulldogs last night. We're pulling for Vandy, but you know, I think it was the eighth national championship that the SEC sponsors teams in that won. I guess I saw some people talking about Kentucky Rifle, but that's not an SEC sport. It seems like a natural for SEC to have rifle, but they're hunting and fishing or something. But you know, I think if you're an SEC person, you like to see the league do well. Remember Frank Burroughs always had the saying that a rising tide raises all boats. You know, basically meaning if your conference is doing well, you know, it's good for everybody. You know, I mean, people may like Alabama football, maybe sick of Alabama football, but that brings a lot of attention to the SEC, and they may, you know, be sick of Kentucky basketball, but it elevates everybody usually when Kentucky's doing well. You know, Big 12 has been hurting because Texas football hasn't been very good. I mean, Oklahoma's really good, but, you know, they need, honestly, for the Big 12, they need Texas to be better. And, you know, Pac-12 needs USC, you know, to be a flagship program for them, because those are the programs people, you know about, you know, around the country. You know, the ACC needs Florida State. So, but yeah, I'm sure Ole Miss fans are, you know, when Mississippi State and Ole Miss alums, you know, work together and eat lunch together, whatever, I'm sure the Bulldogs are going to have a lot of fun talking about that national title. They're Ole Miss people.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. But now that college baseball season is officially over, I guess we've all got to turn the page and get ready for football season. And we're still a few weeks away from camp, so the hot summer of July, the debate topics. What do you think it will be the biggest debate around this Arkansas program going into camp, and kind of like the biggest storyline that people are excited to see?
Oh, I guess probably just how the players have gotten better over the summer, particularly the quarterbacks. I mean, I don't think there's much question KJ Jefferson's going to be the starting quarterback unless something really crazy happens in camp or he gets hurt or something. But I think people are going to want to see, people always want to talk about the quarterback, and you got a new starting quarterback at Arkansas. I mean, he's got a little bit of starting experience. He started once at LSU when he was a freshman, started at Missouri last year, did pretty well in that game when Felipe Franks was hurt. But I think, the big storyline is Arkansas has got a lot of experience back at a lot of positions. The staff did a really good job of getting a lot of guys to use that extra COVID year. And but they've got a new starting quarterback. So how's that going to play out? So that's probably the number one thing in camp to me is how's KJ Jefferson going to be going into the season.
Bob, looks like Trey Knox is ready to go, and I mean in the words of NIL, he is the first Razorback athlete to sign a sponsorship deal, and it's with PetSmart. It is a social media focused partnership with Trey Knox and PetSmart to highlight his love of his husky, whose name is Blue. So this is just the first of a flood. And I mean, Trey, look, everybody knows Trey Knox if you're a Razorback football fan, but he's coming off of a year where, you kind of forgot him for a little bit. So if he's the first to sign, man, this is going to be a flood coming shortly, isn't it?
Yeah, I just saw that press release. Good for Trey, good for anybody. But that same thing entered my mind. You would have thought if a receiver at Arkansas, or probably any athlete at Arkansas, first guy to get a deal would probably be Traylon Burks, because he had such a big year. But to me, what this tells you is a lot of athletes in a lot of sports are probably going to be able to benefit from this to different degrees. Some people are going to make more money than others, but you know, I don't know if Birch has dogs or cats or whatever, but obviously there was some kind of connection with you know, Trey Knox and you know, being a dog lover and all these kinds of things. And yeah, this is just the start. I'm actually going to have a story about that tomorrow, about how Arkansas is approaching this, but I think you're going to see athletes in all kinds of different sports getting deals and endorsement deals through this. And let's see, some's going to be for a lot of money, some might just be for spending money. But if you're a baseball player, for instance, you're probably not on a full scholarship. So if you get some kind of endorsement deal, that basically could help you pay for school.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, Bob, I was talking about this with somebody earlier. Maybe we can close on a thought here. I think if we were to separate baseball from the other two sports that we focus on so much, I think NIL will help SEC baseball, Arkansas baseball compete in ways that they don't necessarily have to, you would think, against some of the other leagues in college baseball. Because, look, you got great programs out west that nobody cares about, that have hundreds of fans that are in the top 10 at their games. You come out here to the Southeastern Conference and 10,000 person crowds in sometimes 5 different stadiums in this league on a weekend. So, you know, if you're a high school baseball player and you're going to go play in college and you think, well, I'm not going to get my full scholarship, so might as well go make some money, this is the place to do it. It's not California. It's, in fact, California to me would be the last place, because nobody cares about college baseball there enough for anybody to make any money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is look at that game last night, and there was probably 20-something thousand Mississippi State fans there, and most of whom I assume made the trip for the state of Mississippi. There might have been some Mississippi State alums in Nebraska or Iowa or Missouri, wherever, that didn't have to go as far. But yeah, and there's so many different ways for athletes to benefit from this. I mean, it wouldn't have occurred to me about, you know, Trey Knox or anybody doing a deal with PetSmart, but you know, athletes are going to have opportunities to do camps, you know, lend their names to camps. You know, you might just be lending your name to it. It also could be you taking part in it. You can endorse local businesses. You could do, you know, signings, you know, appear at stores and stuff, the kind of things that pro athletes have done for a long time. Well, now college athletes will be able to do that. And so it's just, you know, when you think about all the different products, I mean, if you have a soccer ball or soccer apparel, well, you're not going to have a football player endorse that. You're going to have a soccer player do it. Or if you got gymnastic equipment or, you know, softball equipment or just whatever, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities. I'm not saying everybody's going to get, you know, $50,000 or something, but I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for a lot of athletes to take advantage of this. And, you know, we know there's a lot of Arkansas athletes from small Arkansas towns, you know, and that player may be a backup player on football, for instance. Well, that town, you know, that guy may be a hero. So there may be like a local clothing store, a local restaurant. Hey, we want this guy to endorse our business. And you might say, well, gosh, that guy doesn't even start. Well, yeah, but he's from our town, and we haven't had that many Razorbacks. So there's a lot of different angles to look at this thing from.
Yeah, I think this NIL thing is going to be really good for Arkansas athletics overall. I think specifically baseball and a couple of other sports, too, that, you know, I'm not putting in the basketball, football category. Bob, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on, as always.
Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob Holt, Democrat Gazette. We'll have him next Thursday, as usual. Not the prettiest day here in Northwest Arkansas, but it is a great day to be driving around our lovely state in a brand new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. And you'll find all the best brands at the best prices at Wheels RV in Tawnytown. They're right underneath the water tower, 5 miles west off I-49, exit 72. Get on in there and discover why Wheels RV has been voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Not only the best brands and the best prices, you get peace of mind with a lifetime warranty on every new purchase, and the mobile service shuttle keeps you camping. Wheels RV. Seek, explore, discover. Go to wheelsrv.net for more information. First hour halftime wraps up next.
Are you in need of roofing repairs or maybe more? Construction Master Roofing, who has been under new management since 2019 with over 25 years of experience, is who you need to call. Estimates are free, and military, first responders, and medical workers receive 5% off. Construction Master Roofing guarantees their work, and the number you need to call is 648-8888 in the River Valley, and in Oklahoma, call 918-859-4714. Construction Master Roofing, the roofing company that cares and gets the job done.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Phil Hicks in Greenwood about Shelter's home insurance.
Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith is your source this summer for backyard fun. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better way to enjoy family and friends than with your own above-ground pool this summer from Burton Pools and Spas. And they're on sale this month, starting at just $19.99. Come on by Burton's, pick them up, take them home, and save a bundle on above-ground pools. Don't miss this opportunity to make the backyard of your dreams a reality. They've got a limited supply available right now. Ask about the full line of Doughboy above-ground pools, the best pool on the market, built to last for years of enjoyment by you and your family. Check out Doughboy above-ground pools right now and save big at Burton Pools and Spas. They're on 0 Street in Fort Smith and just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale. And you can always see Burton's full lineup online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Business owners, if your carpets and floors show the effects of too much foot traffic, call the professionals at your local Service Master Clean. Whether it's janitorial cleaning or specialty cleaning to eliminate dirt and grime from carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors, no job is too big or too small. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
I've never been scared to stay by myself, but we've been talking, and as much as the kids are at home alone and John's out of town on business, we thought it was time for a security system. Guardtronic came out and walked through our home for a free estimate. He pointed out a couple of ideas I hadn't thought of. The licensed technicians were really knowledgeable and courteous. They explained exactly how to use our system. Now I understand how Guardtronic has been in business for over 60 years. Give Guardtronic a call today, 800-542-7866. That's 800-542-7866.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
This is ESPN 95.3.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life.
For Trinity Oliver, and she throws it up top. It's deflected into the backcourt. Daniels with the steal. Looking to go all the way underneath. Fouled again and finished at the rim.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
There's another deal coming in. This is not a Razorback on the deal. Bo Nix has been signed by Milo's.
Oh, I saw that.
And I don't feel like anybody in Auburn is right down the middle about Bo Nix after 2 years, right?
Most people don't like him.
Yeah, they're in one of the other category, and as of right now, it would be in the. Are you going to get better this year category?
Mhm.
So I wonder if they're going to drink or not drink Milo's iced tea based upon that.
I used to
make
like it.
my own. I like to grow my own iced tea. It's a lot better.
Straight from the ground?
Too time consuming.
I don't know if I grow my own. I just like to brew my own. It's not a word I like to throw out there every once in a while. 877-377-6963. Barstool, Arkansas. And I don't usually quote anybody from Barstool, but they did start a nice little conversation piece here during bracket season and list season. It was also go along with lists.
Mhm.
They wanted to know where the best place for a first date is, but wanted wrong answers only. So, and I have experience with this too, and you're not aware of this, Drew, because you're still new to the state.
Yes.
And you have a dedicated, lovely lady anyway, so it's not like you're
not like I'm
looking to
going
do-
on any first dates anytime
You're not
soon.
doing any first dates. You might have a first 30th date. Are you on your 40th? How many?
I don't know. We've been together
You
for
lost,
5 months.
You lost count after one, right? Or two?
After two, because those are the only two that actually matter. Is obviously the first date, and then if you get a second date, nobody's. And then I guess if you're old fashioned, everybody knows what date number 3 means.
Well, that's the whole idea.
I guess after 3, it doesn't matter.
That's what I meant when I tweeted back to them. It's like, okay, Hugo's is the place. It's a guarantee of no third dates. You might get the second, the third date's not happening if you go to Hugo's. And I say this.
And
as
what
somebody-
is Hugo's?
Hugo's is one of, if not my favorite restaurant in all of Northwest Arkansas. It's right there by the town square, Fayetteville. You entered going down the stairs, just like you do in Cheers, the old
that's
NBC
cool.
sitcom. Yeah,
I always like places like that.
And it's got the vibe you would want for the first date. You don't want any place that's incredibly loud or
No.
intense or anything like that. You want maybe a place that's dimly lit, so you don't really see they don't see you at your absolute worst. And quiet, so that you can actually hear the conversation. You want the food to be good. But there's an urban legend, call it a superstition, whatever you want, that first relationships that begin with a first date at Hugo's don't last.
And
then again,
how did an urban legend that specific get set?
You're asking the wrong person to tell you where this started from, but I have experienced that firsthand. So, and again, that might just be anecdotal evidence. I'm sure, I'm guessing that there have been some successful relationships that started with a first date at Hugo's. I just don't know any of them. That
seems like a very weird thing to be known for. It's a very weird.
Well, I don't know if they're really known for it.
For a first date.
They're known for the atmosphere. They're known to be a good date place. It's just urban
as
legend.
long as it's not your second date, you can go to Hugo's.
Exactly. You know where I think would be a really fun idea for a first date?
What's that?
Would be going to make fun at all the people playing pickup basketball at this new whatever they're going to call this pickup basketball area at where the Dixon Street Theater is located right now. And that's because, look, I mean, someone will say Dixon Street's a terrible place for a first date. It all depends on the person you're with, because people watching, I feel, is not a bad thing for first dates, so that you can get a sense of each other's sense of humor and exactly how you make fun of others and whether or not you're okay being made fun of at the same time. I think if you're sitting there, and I don't know what time of the day they'll be allowing pickup basketball, I have a feeling 2 a.m. pickup basketball, while it might not be allowed at this new establishment, would be the most entertaining pickup basketball possible. I would go on the first date for pickup basketball in the night so that we can make some comments on the people playing, because I'm not getting on the court and playing.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea. I mean, making sure your sense of humor line up very quickly into a relationship I think is one of the major keys to see if this is going to go anywhere, because if she doesn't share the same type of sense of humor or can at least accept partially my somewhat on the dark side of humor, it's probably not going to work out if she gets offended by the things that I think are funny.
Yeah, so definitely you want to be able to laugh. You want to be able to laugh, see what's funny. And sporting events are good places, I think, for first dates. But I'll say this, like an Arkansas-Kentucky basketball game at Bud Walton Arena, not first date material.
You don't want her to know how crazy you really are.
Exactly.
That's after she's committed to be your girlfriend and she's kind of in it for the long haul. Like, I don't think I would have ever taken a girl on a first date to a Memphis game. I did go on a date, like a third or fourth date with a girl to a Memphis game, and that was our last date.
So let's put it this way.
It didn't work out because I got too crazy.
Arkansas-Kentucky is a terrible idea for a first date basketball. Arkansas versus Prairie View A&M. Great place.
Great.
For a first date at a basketball
No pressure. You know they're going to win. They're going to win by 60.
And you don't have to put your psycho face on.
No. No, there's no need to go absolutely crazy. I mean, minor league sports, I think, are good because even if it is the minor league of your favorite team, nobody really gets that passionate or that carried away at minor league sports. Nobody is out there painting their faces and living and dying on every pitch of a AA or AAA game. It's there for the entertainment factor. It's there to see maybe somebody that might be somebody down the road, but it's a pretty relaxed and chill atmosphere. And that's what
great people watching area.
Oh,
too.
Great too.
How many dates in?
Because tickets are cheap, and do you know what kind of people get cheap tickets?
You've got to show your psycho face pretty soon, though, because I mean, if it's going to be a long-term thing, you don't want to hide that 4 or 5 dates in, and then she realizes like,
I would call
this is the guy, this is the real guy here that I didn't meet the first 2 dates.
I would call that the fourth face. The fourth date.
Mm-hmm.
There's another face you might want to show before the psycho face, and I'm not getting into that one right now. Alan and Harrison, by the way, he said he had a first date take him to a funeral visitation. That's nuttiness. All right. 877-377-6963. Well, I guess it's better to go to a funeral visitation than a birth. First date, right? Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
Business is back, and your locally owned TGI Fridays is now hiring for multiple positions. For over 26 years, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has been locally owned and a fun place to work, and we want you to come be a part of our family. Apply in person or message us online on our TGI Fridays Fort Smith Facebook page. If you've been out of work and are needing a job, or you're just looking for a career change, we have multiple positions available in the front and back of the house, and we want to welcome you to our family at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith.
Game Time Energy, lifetime experience. Learn more about Buffalo Wild Wings and why it's a great place to work. Apply today at work4wings.com. You'll be working with the hottest brand around and having tons of fun doing it. Welcome to the big time.
Join the winning team at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are hiring. Apply now at work4wings.com. Competitive pay, team member discounts, flexible schedule, insurance options, incentive contests, and much more. Work where every day is game day. Roar!
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com. When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly cloudy sky with showers and scattered thunderstorms today. Our high this afternoon will be into the lower 80s. A chance of showers and storms again tonight. And overnight low upper 60s. We should be drier across the north on Friday. The showers and thunderstorms concentrated further south. Our high low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com. Go crazy at Bob Walker. Go nuts.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Your Razorbacks are 2021 SEC champions. And Bob Walker Stadium is an insane asylum.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
We got a couple of good texts in here on our first date conversation. I appreciate Barstool Sports for putting it out there, so we've got to make sure we give you your proper due for at least starting the conversation. Best place for a first date, wrong answers only. Hugo's is one, and that's only because of the urban legend. I don't know other places I'd stick there. I don't go to loud. You want to go to a loud sports bar, really. I think you want to go to a place that you can chill, you can talk. Sports are usually a good thing, just a matter of to what degree. Mini golf would be a good idea. That's like
mini golf would be great. I would think it's
a
not
first date circuit. That's a
too
Karate Kid style, right there,
also,
Matty. Right.
Right. The worst place I think that I ever tried to take first dates was to the movie theater. Because you're literally just sitting there in the dark with no communication, for 2 hours.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
I remember one time I had a girl.
Dinner and a movie is a terrible first date idea.
Mm-hmm. She got too comfortable and kicked her shoes off, and there was just like a wafting odor from her feet. It was
in the theater?
It was dead right there. I mean, I know she didn't think anything about it, but it was like I met her after work, and she was just getting comfortable. We were at a theater with kick-up recliners, and for 2 hours, I was sitting there thinking, I cannot wait to get away from this person. So.
It's definitely one thing you try to avoid.
Keep your
early
shoes
in a
on you.
Keep your
relationship
shoes.
is allowing the other person to know what your feet smell like.
That is just terrible. And like I was telling y'all, like during the break, my ideal first day places back in Memphis was a place called Young Avenue Deli because they had a great drink list. It's quiet, but it's pretty packed, but it also people keep the volume down and it's not too loud. It's one of those places where it's like, yeah, we can get a couple drinks. Oh, you're hungry? We can eat if you want, but no pressure. Or Huey's because everybody loves Huey's. Everybody has their own order. It's familiar, comfortable, and once again, it's not too loud. And that's the main thing when I went on first dates was comfortability. You don't want to put any pressure on it. People that go to fancy restaurants or steakhouses for first dates, that's
nerve-wracking enough.
Puts a lot of pressure on. And
then that's what is going to be expected now. It's like, oh yeah, remember how we go to fine restaurants and stuff?
Yeah, remember how you took me to Roost Chris the first date? Yeah.
Well, you realize like some people will make their decision based, whether or not they like you based upon the temperature you eat your steak. There are a lot of people that will refuse to date someone that eats their steak well done.
Well, I guess Ty's not getting a date
and with
soon,
ketchup. Ty Richards. Ty always asks these things. He always says, when I get married, when I have kids, like, dude, learn to eat a steak properly, and that
get
might
a date
actually
first.
happen. We got some text in here. Chandler and Van Buren experienced the Hugo's first date failures. He said we went to Hugo's, then bowling, and that was the last time we ever talked. He gave an LOL. You mean LOL? You're like, what the heck happened here? I thought we were getting along. Alan and Harrison, he's the one who told us about the funeral visitation, and he voted for halftime.
Thank you, Alan.
On our highly scientific ESPN Arkansas popularity poll. Andy in Bentonville.
This is the one I need more answers.
He has the Andy rules, which he has not told us what the Andy rules are. He says first date rules I used to go by. I would give them the Andy rules. At any given time during this date, both of us have the option to tap out and call it a night. One ended up being my second ex-wife.
Which means there was a first one, and there might be a third.
Maybe there'll be a third, depending on how many rules you've got, Andy. There might be a correlation there.
Might need to switch up the Andy rules a little bit. Give him go through, create another draft. I don't think this one's final.
All right, we are asking about your best, least favorite places for first dates. If you got any thoughts, name, image, and likeness. You going to buy pet food or pet supplies at PetSmart now? Trey Knox signed a deal with them. And again, if it's against Trey Knox because I think he could be a key to this football team taking further steps forward next year, and I hope that is the case with him. Here's a guy that's from your neck of the woods, right? You know, near Memphis, or at least right in there. And I mean, if I would have expected maybe that if you had the production that Trey had after that freshman year, where it looked like, you know, he might have a big sophomore season, that you're the one that's going to sign this deal. You know, so if Trey Knox has the first deal amongst Arkansas athletes, then what about Traylon Burks? What about Grant Morgan? What about Bumper Poole, Jalen Catalon? You know, what about I mean, there's so many other players that have been more productive and maybe even more visible. You know, and for basketball, Devo Davis has already put it out there. He's ready for it. He's completely ready for it.
So, Phil, how many places, let's be honest, are actually itching to get college athletes as their spokespeople, you know? I mean,
I gotta be honestly, in this state here in Arkansas,
local businesses.
I think there's gonna be a number of them that are looking for it because of the statewide reach.
It's not going to be overkill then when every business has. It's like, okay, he's got Trey Knox, he's got, you know, some other guy.
Well, I mean, it could end up, your message could end up getting diluted.
That's what
that's
what I meant.
All the other sponsorships, sure, but I mean, there's enough companies, big companies, that have presence in this state. You know, I mean, even in Northwest Arkansas alone, because of the Walmart presence here. That I have a feeling that's the whole thing. That when I went and watched the video that the University of Arkansas put out introducing this flagship program, and look, this isn't the only athletic department that has a statewide fan base, but the fact that Arkansas is singular in this state, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to Arkansas State, but let's be honest here, let's be realistic here. This is a Razorback state.
Yeah.
You know, there are only so many other places where one program has this much of a grip on everything going on across the state sports-wise. Arkansas is sort of unique in that aspect. And for me, that makes a difference, I think, in your ability to market yourself outside just the footprint of where the university is located. You know, this region in Northwest Arkansas, that'll play in Central Arkansas. That'll play in Southern Arkansas. Heck, that might even play not far from Jonesboro, our friend Miss Lisa. You know what I mean? I mean, I think Arkansas's got an edge in some ways.
Oh, they definitely do. I mean, because just like you said, they're not split up between different fan bases, and even in Jones Boogie, it's mostly Razorback fans, and there's a small niche section of Red Wolf fans out there. And I think what Bob had to say about individual towns, that's where a lot of these guys are going to get most of their NIL type of deals, because of he's a hometown guy.
The pride of the hometown.
Yeah, pride of what's a small pride of Mountain Home, pride of BB Arkansas, pride of I don't know. I haven't lived here long enough to start rattling off names, but that's where I think a lot of them are going to get deals. And obviously, social media is going to play a big factor in that. And obviously, I think the big reason why Trey Knox was the first person to get the first deal out of the University of Arkansas is because of how much his social media is tied up into his dog. He constantly is posting pictures on Twitter, Instagram, and the other socials about his dog and about how much he loves being a dog parent and all this other stuff. So, of course, he's going to be the ideal type of fit for a company that has already, I'm guessing, had their eye on him as a potential spokesperson even before the NIL stuff was coming into effect, because I think most companies, big companies like that, kind of start looking at people future down the road just of who fits their brand and popularity wise. And so the deals are going to start coming. I just don't think they're going to be 100% centralized around the Northwest Arkansas area. You're going to have a lot of them up there, but I think it'll be more spread out throughout the state.
You know, and I remember as a kid, and this was to a professional sport, and a guy that had nothing to do with the thing that he became synonymous with. There's a couple of athletes I remember this with. Jaromir Jagr, remember the legendary hockey player, had a thing for Kit Kats. Nobody knew that until he said something about it on an interview. The next thing you know, people are throwing Kit Kat bars on the ice at him when he throws goals. Mm-hmm. Henry Rodriguez was an outfielder for the Montreal Expos who when I don't know if it was that he loved O. Henry bars or just because his name was Henry, people started throwing O. Henry bars on the field when he would hit a home run, something like that. We saw this with Stephen Schock, this Virginia pitcher. That's now sort of become in some people's eyes synonymous with Dippin' Dots. Like if I'm a Razorback athlete right now, and I'm going to be interviewed by somebody at media days.
Oh, I'm talking about my favorite stuff.
How did Marshawn Lynch get connected with Skittles? Did he bring him up at a press conference?
The story behind Marshawn Lynch's Skittles is that his mother would give him Skittles before every Pee-wee game, middle school, and high school game. So he would eat Skittles that his mother would give him before every game, and just kind of kept the tradition going up all the way through his career in the NFL. He also apparently when he was in the NFL drank Hennessy before games.
It's a little different.
Yeah. It's a little different, but
does Hennessy and the purple Skittles, does that go into purple drank?
No, that's a little different.
That's
not
lean,
different
right?
of a thing. Yeah.
There's some other things they put into that too. Yeah.
I mean, you can put those things in there, but it's not the main ingredient.
I would have been able to, maybe I could still do something about this here because Mars M&M is they've got a presence in Northwest Arkansas. Drew, you're not aware that I've got like a giant collection of peanut M&M packets that I don't eat.
Well, why?
You get concession coupons for media food at Razorback baseball.
He's been
games,
hoarding
I'm not
them.
eating dogs and burgers before every game, so I just go get packets of peanut M&Ms and store them. And because of that, people now bring peanut M&M packets to me when I go around or whatever, and I've got this huge collection that I really like. I've got my kids with me.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to eat all of this in the next 3 months. Hello, Mars M&M. My name's Phil Elson, and I love your peanut M&Ms.
Hello, Budweiser. I like your beer.
I'm not a student athlete, though. 877-377-6963. Halftime, right back.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I got to go back. I'm still a little confused. Ty, did you say we willow in our misery?
I don't. I wallow, but he may willow.
Willow's the tree.
I got the willow tree before, but it didn't feel very good, and it caused more than misery.
Right.
It called whelps.
Yeah.
No, it's just a real pretty tree.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
These days we Google everything, but the practical advice about painting comes from the paint store.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from
Top shelf spirits and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
One more now, Lucille.
Corral is in the gun. Boucher creeping up to the line on the other side. Now he drops back. Corral's going to throw. Short over the middle. Intercepted. Grant Morgan at the 20. Morgan to the 10-yard line. To the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Grant Morgan with a nifty move at the 5-yard line, and the Razorbacks score.
Need a little bit more halftime in your life? Make sure to download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith has the best deals in the River Valley on liquor, beer, and wine. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and make sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly specials. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is part of the Hit That Line Podcast Network and is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
For some of these texts here, we've been getting in on worst first date locations and thoughts on name, image, and likeness. Andy in Mountain Home asks about if athletes that are 21 or older will be allowed by the NCAA to have beer or other alcohol companies represent them. I don't know about the NCAA. I do know on the Arkansas guidelines they're not allowed to work with anything involving drugs, drug use, drug paraphernalia, alcohol-related products, services, depictions, or references to alcohol consumption. So I would say
So if you can't do it in front of your preacher, you can't endorse it. It's a good way to
Yeah, you also said nothing sexually suggestive.
I hadn't thought about it that way. That's right. I guess your preacher would be okay with
depends on which church you go to, I guess.
Can't do gaming. So I mean, it wouldn't say that these are necessarily very restrictive guidelines. They kind of make sense if you're going to be a college athlete in the way that that's supposed to be presented. Jeremiah in Cedarville. Oh yeah, these ones. Do you remember the Dan Marino isotoner glove commercials, Maddie?
I do.
Yeah. Do you remember those? Did you ever see those ones, Drew?
I've seen them in passing, but I don't think I was old enough or possibly even born to
Do you remember
see them live.
O.J. Simpson being the spokesman for Hertz rental cars?
I've seen those commercials.
I mean, that dude was always in a hurry through the airport.
Jumping
running
over suitcases.
through the airport, leaping over the lines of chairs and all of that. But yeah,
you can't get Marino through an airport like that anymore.
Nah, Marino and the isotoner gloves definitely went hand in hand.
What are isotoner gloves?
They're just a brand of
leather
gloves. They were comfortable leather gloves that you could wear anywhere, and definitely were good for throwing a football, according to Dan Marino.
Okay. Right? Maybe I would have gone to college on a football scholarship if I had isotone gloves back in the day.
Well, when you're the quarterback in the Miami Dolphins and you play some of your games in winter in New York, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, and in Buffalo, it would make sense to have a glove sponsorship. Plus, Marino's from Pittsburgh, and it gets cold there, too. B.E. in Clarksville, he's got a whole story here about his first date. Wow. I didn't even realize what was going on here, but he does say he was so embarrassed. But knowing B.E., maybe that's something you feel like all the time. Andy in Bentonville, he gave us his rules on dating. Okay, so these were the Andy rules. If you're not having a good time, just say it. No hard feelings. Now, you'll say no hard feelings.
There will be hard feelings. There always are.
I think the other person's going to have hard feelings. He says there will never, ever be a third wife. Good for you. 7 years going on a relationship.
Fool me once.
Right. Twice? Not happening. Brandon in Paris thinks Bumper Pool should get a billiards endorsement. Oh, sure. Although, is that
hold on for that.
Could that there you go. Stephen Jones may sign a deal with the Cowboys, according to Travis. I had not heard about that at all.
I haven't either.
877-377-6963. Yes, there will not be any student athletes, Tim and Fort Smith, doing any tobacco advertisements. That is for sure.
Didn't they? A lot of them used to do a lot of like pro athletes do advertisements for like Marlboro and Winston's and didn't Herschel Walker do like a dip sponsorship one time?
I don't remember that one. I do remember seeing magazine ads of this major league ball player and that major league ball player saying, the Smoke Camels, this is the refreshing one.
They're cool.
They don't use that word to talk about cigarettes anymore. All right, I wanted to get into this. This is not a sponsorship necessarily, although turning one of the weirdest contracts in the history of professional sports. And this is 23 years after the contract was restructured or signed by Bobby Bonilla?
It went in effect in 2011. I believe it was signed in 2000, so about 21 years.
Okay. So, and he still is making, most people know about this. I found that this was a hilarious commercial that you linked to here, Drew, from Mint Mobile, which I think is the mobile phone plan that's pushed by and owned by Ryan Reynolds. So listen to this. It's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Hey, is that Bobby Bonilla?
Wow. Yeah, it looks like you could still get paid to play.
Wow, Bobby Bonilla, you look great.
Oh, I feel great, thank you.
Man, what's your secret?
Extremely long-term deals.
Could I get an extremely long-term deal?
You can at Mint Mobile. 25 years for just $100 a year.
Wow, that seems really fiscally irresponsible of them.
It does.
That's right. For one day.
All right, we don't have to push it, but that is a crazy deal that they're offering there. But a crazier contract that the Mets even agreed to defer all of this money. And what is the $1 million a year?
$1.2 million.
$1.2 million per year for a guy. I mean, Bonilla had a really good career, but I don't think it necessarily played out the way that a lot of folks thought. And I mean, I grew up watching Bobby Bonilla play at Three River Stadium for the Pirates at third base and in right field and form, the Killer Bees with he and Barry Bonds. And then, I mean, the entire city of Pittsburgh just loved Bobby Bonilla because he had a great story. He was undrafted out of the Bronx, New York. Made his way to the big leagues and turned himself into a Silver Slugger, 4-time All-Star with the Pirates, and then they just hated him when he went to New York back home as a free agent. And, I think he only had like 1 or 2 really more good years after he left Pittsburgh. And now he's known for signing this, on his side, brilliant. I mean, completely brilliant contract. He really didn't do much with the Mets outside of a couple of seasons.
No, I think he retired after only like 2 or 3 years with the Mets after he won the World Series with the Marlins in '97. So yeah, I mean, great opportunity for him. But something I learned today and I'm not sure if a lot of people understand this. Learned this from T.J. Reeves. He's the sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That the Mariners are paying Ichiro right now in deferred money up to $45 million after he retired, and the Reds are paying Ken Griffey Jr. $60 million in deferred money. So apparently this happens a lot more than just for Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, but what makes this such a laughable deal is
it's way more laughable.
Nothing out of him. I mean, nothing. They didn't get what they thought they were getting when they signed Bobby Bonilla, who changed his approach of hitting to just trying to smack home runs. And never really. I think he had 34 home runs in a season with the Mets, and that was about it. He just was nowhere near the same player he'd been with Pittsburgh. So yeah, Griffey obviously and Ichiro, and these are Hall of Famers.
Well, how about this one? Florida just finally finished paying off Jim McElwain today.
Well, Razorback fans still remember how long that they were paying Brett Bielema, but that's not as long as McElwain.
He just finished that. They just finished paying him his last $500,000 today.
There's a funny thing. We get a text from Brandon here asking, did Jeff Long broker the Bonilla deal?
I'm sure he was in the room.
Well, there wasn't a buyout. It was deferred compensation. I mean, there's a pretty major difference.
Because the Mets, if I remember the story correctly, because the Mets were involved at the who was the broker who ran the Ponzi scheme, the pyramid scheme in
Bernie
New York? Madoff. Yeah, they were involved in all of that at the time. So Madoff was showing them all these great returns that they were going to get. So, of course, the 8% interest on the, I think, $6 million of Bonilla's buyout that they had to pay, it did look like a good long-term investment. Now, obviously, they didn't know they were working with a pyramid and Ponzi scheme.
Well, nobody really did that was in on that for a while there. So, I don't know if that was the reason that they signed that deal, because the Mets made a lot of really bad decisions back in those days. But happy Bobby Bonilla Day to all of. I don't know exactly how you celebrate that. Switch hitter. He was a switch hitter of third baseman. He was terrible at third base, so they had to move him into the outfield. He had one of the prettiest follow-throughs that I ever remember. That was the follow-through swing that my sister used to pretend to imitate. One of her favorite players, along with Bob Walk, the former pitcher. Anyway,
way to celebrate it could be calling your former boss and asking him for money. See if that works.
102. Well, that's a former boss. I guess.
It had to be a former boss.
I'll call the Travelers when we're done with the show here and see if they've got anything saved up, which I don't think a lot of minor league teams do these days.
No.
Into the stretch here on halftime. After this, a little more on baseball. Get into more of our conversation. Stay with us and vote for us too on halftime.
It's time for the largest music festival in the River Valley, the Peacemaker Music Festival, featuring Cody Johnson, Paul Coffin, Muscadine Bloodline, Colby Cooper, and many more. The Peacemaker Music Festival, July 30th and 31st. For tickets and more info, visit peacemakerfest.com. Let's do this, Peacemakers!
Who doesn't want instant gratification? If you're looking for satisfaction, there's no need to wait. With Credit Karma Money, you could win cash reimbursements for debit card purchases. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. Just go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant Karma. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. Banking services provided by MBB Bank Incorporated. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren. Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Are you feeling trapped making payments on a car you don't like? It's time to declare your independence and get into something nicer and newer today at Rath Auto Resources. We're making it easy with discounts up to $4,150 below suggested retail on a great selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, we need trades, so we're giving up to $3,200 extra for your trade-in. Those savings really add up and make it easier than ever to trade up into something nicer and newer, even if you still owe money. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC performance checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, declare your independence and start driving better today in a Rath road-ready vehicle from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by July 30th, 2021.
Attention, attention, do you have a fifth wheel, travel trailer, or motorhome that you don't get to use as often as you want? Well, Breeden RV has a solution. Breeden RV wants to buy your RV. Due to the historic events that have happened over the past year, RVs are in high demand and Breeden RV will pay you top dollar for yours. So push it, pull it, or drag it to Breeden RV in Van Buren today for your free appraisal and get cash in hand within an hour. Call Breeden RV at 479-262-2418 or visit them on the web at breedenrvs.com.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Tiffany Newman or Warren Robertson about a free insurance review.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
A 1-0 to Opitz, and there's a ball hit high and deep to right by the Razorback captain, sending Pinckney to the wall. Opitz out of the yard, and the Razorbacks have their first base runner, and he can trot around those four. Casey Opitz with his first home run of the season.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Halftime brought to you by Riley Farm Dental at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan serving to give patients better lives with comfortable experiences. I know a lot of folks get nervous when you are visiting the dentist. You're not going to feel that way at Riley Farm Dental. The moment you walk in, you'll notice you are going to feel part of the Riley Farm Dental family. All dental procedures provided, including braces, implants, and cosmetics. 3 years running, voted best in the best. And you can find more at RileyFarmDental.com, 226-3500. The phone number for Riley Farm Dental. All right, Arkansas now one of 7 schools in the SEC without a College World Series championship. That means 7 have a championship. After Mississippi State pulls it off yesterday. I didn't even know that Missouri has one, but that was back in the 50s. So
does it count?
Sure, why not? Also, so Arkansas is tied for 5th. In most College World Series appearances without a championship. The team they're tied with is Northern Colorado. And I
had no idea that they had a good program.
Well, it's been since the 70s.
That makes sense.
It does count. I would say Arkansas baseball right now is the best current program in the country without a natty. But if you're looking historically, it's Florida State. They've been
hands down.
Yeah, they've been to Omaha 23 times, and I think they're a good team this year. Just they're not quite at the level year by year of Arkansas. And then you will remind me that Florida State beat the Hogs in Omaha in 2019. So those would be the top 2. Clemson, 12 visits to Omaha, no national titles. North Carolina, 11 without a natty. It took Mississippi State their 12th appearance to win that first national championship. And it's a bummer. It feels bad when the baseball season comes to an end. So now what season is it? Media days are in 3 weeks.
Is it media day season then?
No. Media days are media day season.
Okay.
Tommy asked me if I wanted to go to that. I'm like, no, I don't need that with a 700-mile pole. Thank you. But we'll talk about it, no doubt, because you're going to have, I don't know who's going to be visiting, who's going to be representing the Razorbacks outside of Sam Pittman. But I would imagine I would want Traylon Burks there. I would want Grant Morgan there, and maybe Jalen Catalon. I would go with those 3. I wouldn't put KJ Jefferson in there just yet. So once it comes down to media days, then it's media day season. And then that's really when football season begins, right? You don't need games for it to be football season. I have learned that.
That's why I think on the rundown I put, is it pre-football season? Because preseason of football is when media days get started, when you show up to camp, and before games, that's pre-football. So are we now in pre-football, or is it NHL season? As we still got, I think, at least another 2 hockey games left. NBA's got at least another 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then you have the NBA Finals. Are we now just all on board with Major League Baseball, especially since we're already at the halfway mark and we're about to hit the All-Star break here in a second? And
that's probably where I am more, but I am interested in what the heck was Patrick Beverley doing shoving Chris Paul
I don't
last
know.
night
That is
with his back turned to him from beyond. I don't know what led to that, but that's I know P-Bev has this persona that he plays with, and I think that's the real him, no doubt. But that's a bad look. You're never going to want to be known as the guy that did the pushing on somebody when he wasn't looking at you.
The thing that shocked me the most about it is that there really wasn't that much of an issue after it happened. I'm absolutely shocked that there weren't more blows, that more people didn't get ejected from the game, just due to the fact that we've seen people start throwing punches over a lot less than a guy coming up and pushing Chris Paul to the floor. Now, did Chris Paul maybe oversell it a bit? Maybe. But he still pushed him, and probably hard enough to at least make him stumble. I don't know if enough to make him completely fall down like a tree. But the fact that nobody else was ejected and everybody kept calmer heads was the most shocking thing to me, because that seems like an incident where 4 or 5 guys are getting ejected.
It felt like honestly, it felt a little bit like a punk move, because at that point,
it was.
you know that the series is over. There's no chance for them to retaliate. You're going to get ejected from the game at that point, so you're going straight to the locker room. Wasn't a good look in many ways.
No,
be frustrated with losing, sure. Be frustrated with, I don't know if CP said something to him or whatever, sure. But that's a really bad look for a really good basketball player who usually is the one that's getting the best of somebody else in their head. It seemed it was the other way around this time. 877-377-6963. So it's just some baseball things here. And we do have halftime homework coming up in the next segment. I've pulled another pop quiz here on our friend Drew Barrett.
I would like to actually have a homework assignment there, Professor Phil.
I'll give you something at some point. I would listen to a good chunk of the music that you'd assigned to me, but I don't want to get into that until the next segment. Because that'll be the next segment. So yesterday in Major League Baseball, if you wanted some evidence here that the crackdown on the sticky stuff has any real effect, there were 204 runs scored in Major League Baseball yesterday. That's 18 short of the all-time record for one day. You'd have to go back to the early 60s, the last time you had this many runs scored in a day in Major League Baseball, and that's funny because there were nowhere near as many teams as there are now, but the pitching did get diluted because of an expansion draft, I think, from the early 60s. But this is different. This is directly related to these guys can't use the sticky stuff anymore. You had nothing like this until the crackdown, and now 204 runs scored yesterday. The Braves put up 20. You had two... Matt, whichever way you want to look at it, and it depends on which team you root for, either 2 giant choke jobs or 2 of the greatest comebacks the sport's ever seen, with the Angels scoring 7 in the 9th against the Yankees after New York scored 7 in the first, and that was just one of 2 teams that scored 7 runs in the first inning and still lost. The Cubs became the first team to score 7 in the first inning and still lose by 7 or more runs. Milwaukee scored 15 straight, including this granny from Kristen Adames.
Adames in the air, right center. Ball's hit well. Marisnik on the run, and it is up and out. It's a grand slam. The first of the year for the Brewers. Willie Adames again. And this ballpark is lit up.
I got my Adames mixed up. The other Christian Adames, I believe, plays for Tampa Bay. This is Willie Adames. And then the other one, also involving a grand slam, Angels with 7 in the 9th. And it was Aroldis Chapman that gave up this granny from Jared Walsh.
He gives that one a ride. Deep right field. We are tied. The Angels come all the way back.
Grand salami time for Walshy. Second home run of the game. Wow, just like that. Halo magic.
And the Angels, Drew, did that without the aid of a designated hitter because they had to pull Shohei Ohtani in the first inning.
And Shohei did something nobody's done since 1903, throw a start the game, and then I think it was a strikeout as a pitcher, and then bat second as a DH and hit a home run.
Crazy.
First time it's happened since 1903.
All right, and then there's the other side of things, including Major League Baseball. So this is July 1st. I can get my countdown started. 18 days until the worst series in Major League Baseball for the year. The first of two series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Arizona D-backs. And I mean, this will be this will basically be who is less bad than the other team is really what it's going to come down to.
Well, all I know is that my O's aren't going to be in that category because they're never losing another game again. They just swept the Astros in Houston. So watch out, Blue Jays, Rays, Yanks, and Red Sox. Orioles magic is about to happen in the month of July. They're not losing a ball game. I can guarantee it. Guaranteed.
Orioles magic is about to start in about 5 minutes or so, Drew, because you, a resident Baltimore Orioles fan, has an Orioles pop quiz coming his way.
Okay.
Going to test your knowledge of your favorite Major League Baseball team.
All right, I'm excited.
I will let you know, I would have never been able to do a real baseball pop quiz with anybody I've worked on in radio before. You're the first. See how it works out on halftime right after this.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust, offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Now when you get your COVID vaccine, you also get a bonus reward. So will you choose door number 1? Free hunting and fishing licenses to enjoy Arkansas's great outdoors. Or door number 2? A lottery ticket with a chance to win up to $1 million. It's a win-win. So the only thing you have to lose is the mask. Let's vaccinate Arkansas. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday. River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
I've had a large mouth pass, bust smile, and a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye.
JD, step back, 3 on the way, and it's good. Note drew the foul as well. I'm not sure that's the most advised shot, but he leaned into Bailey. He got the prayer to fall, and now he's got a chance for a 4-point play.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
To close up the show today, as we learn a little bit about our brand new co-host, Drew Barrett, who does call himself a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Unfortunately.
Who is 26 years old. He says he gets joy out of the 1983 World Championship when he was negative
11.
Negative 11 years old. So we'll see exactly how that works out. So let's get to it. It's halftime homework.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Kind of homework assignment?
I have a tough assignment. I'm thinking we should talk about the homework assignment.
Dude, did you do all your homework last night?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This is hard.
You really did your homework, didn't you?
It's time for halftime homework.
What do you boys have for me today?
Drew, your first halftime homework would be to head over to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge sometime this weekend.
Oh, I will.
Find yourself an outstanding drink. They've got the best spirits anywhere in the state. Find yourself the best hand-rolled cigar you possibly can. They've got a great collection. Wonderful food and just great atmosphere. It doesn't feel like a bar there. It feels like a real upscale lounge. You can enjoy yourself. Also not going to smell like a cigar because the air replacement system at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge replaces the air. Doesn't filter it, replaces it every 4 minutes. And they're open till midnight, tomorrow and Saturday until 1 a.m. 906lounge.com for all their specials and events. You can see the menu right there as well at 906lounge.com. All right.
Quiz, hot shot.
So the first thing I want to let you know is I did do a good chunk of the homework that you assigned to me.
Good. And did you enjoy your homework assignment?
I actually did like some of this Memphis rap that you assigned to me.
Okay.
I will say, like, the kids got here the day after you assigned it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not, my daughter's 12. My son's 9.
It's not kid-friendly music.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's, I would say it's quite the opposite of kid-friendly. It's frightening for kids to hear this kind of stuff. So I had to be a little judicial with the moments during the day that I played this. And the other aspect of that, I have a feeling like this music is meant to be played at 11 on a scale of 10. And I had to play it really closer to 2 with the kids around. So.
Well, you tried, and that's all that matters is that you attempted to do your homework.
I did, and I found there was a working together agreement between, I don't know another way to put that there, but they worked together. Fraser Boy and Little White formed BAR. You know that, right?
Of course I knew that.
I mean, the super group.
I really dug MWPL with BAR on their album.
Is this English?
Together.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
I like Fraser Boy's Same Ones from Not No Mo.
Okay.
That album, that was pretty good, too.
You celebrate his entire catalog.
Mm-hmm. I listened to a little bit of Yo Gotti, not enough to remember, or I didn't write down any of the songs. So I'd say I probably listened to like 5 or 6 of the what is exactly the style? What's the name of the style of rap that comes out of the 901?
I don't know if I guess it's just would be classified as, Memphis rap. I mean, what do you say?
They call it toe tapping music.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, they call it toe tapping.
Okay. Well, it definitely. I feel like it's
apparently Maddie's more of an expert on Memphis music than I am.
I mean, I go deep in the streets, man.
Well, it was mostly enjoyable, and I will also say, like, it gave me. I've been traveling with basketball teams now for a long time, and you can hear the players when they're on the bus and and getting ready for the game. Like, they've got their earbuds in. I can't tell what it is they're listening to, but I can hear a lot of the
bass.
beat and the bass, and it sounded a lot like what I heard coming from Lil White, Yo Gotti, and Fraser Boy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well done introducing me to all that stuff. All right, so now what I've got for you today is an Orioles pop quiz.
Okay.
Because you are our resident Baltimore Orioles fan, so I got a few questions for you here to see just exactly how much you might know about your favorite franchise. All right. So the Baltimore Orioles became the Orioles moved there in 1954. What
Correct.
was the original city of the current franchise known as the Baltimore Orioles?
That's easy. They're the St. Louis Browns.
And that is incorrect because they started in Milwaukee in 1901 as the Brewers, moved to St. Louis in 1902, played there through 53.
1 year? Come on.
It counts, my friend. That is one of the original American League teams, 1901 Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
It is a fact. So that one you got wrong. You're close, but there is no close. There's no close in cigar.
All right, missed by 1 year. Okay. Let's see how hard this is going to be. Let's do it.
Hall of Fame pitcher Jim Palmer did a long-running famous ad campaign for what underwear company?
How many are there?
Hanes?
No, this is the only reason that Jim Palmer was my mom's favorite baseball player throughout the 70s.
Oh, goodness.
He did a famous magazine ad campaign for Jockey underwear.
Okay. There's Hanes, Jockey, and Fruit of the Loom. I had a 30% shot.
Pop quiz,
By the way,
hot
I
shot.
had Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer was promoting prostate cancer awareness. I think it was either prostate cancer or heart disease awareness. I can't remember exactly which one. At a Travelers Springfield Cardinals game in Springfield, Missouri, I was doing Travelers baseball, and Palmer came on the broadcast to talk about that. But I got to tell him, I was like, I feel bad even saying this, Jim, but my mom is a huge fan of it. He knew exactly what I was getting to.
He didn't
the moment I said my mom.
Too bad he didn't have an extra pair laying around. He could give you to
sign them and say,
send them to her.
Can I get a signed
Give
pair?
this to Miss Elson.
Oh. That is, see, I'm not an autograph guy. I am definitely not an autograph on underwear guy. Okay. How many Gold Gloves did Brooks Robinson win while he was playing third base for Baltimore?
16.
Bingo! You got that one right. That's a tough one because that's a lot of Gold Gloves.
It is.
It's a lot of Gold Gloves.
Human vacuum was a nickname for the right reason.
What famous play occurred on October 9th, 1996?
October 9th, 1996. That would have been the day that Cal Ripken Jr. broke Lou Gehrig's streak.
No, that is the Jeffrey Meyer play.
That is in 96.
Yeah. That was game 1 of the American League Championship.
Oh,
Which did not cost Baltimore that ALCS because it only tied the game, and they won the next day, and they had home field advantage going back to the Orioles.
Stupid little kid.
That's where you could see the trajectory of the franchise starting to go downward from that very moment. All right, who was the Baltimore pitcher that threw the pitch that Jeter hit, which was caught by Jeffrey Meyer above Tony Tarasco? Who was the pitcher?
I have no idea.
Armando Benitez was the pitcher. He was the closer for Baltimore that year. 1983 was the last year the Orioles won the World Series. Who was the 83 World Series MVP?
Rick Dempsey.
Bingo. Very good. What else is Rick Dempsey? No, that's the wrong catcher. That's the wrong catcher. I was going to say who invented the throat guard that nobody wears anymore. That's Steve Yeager, not Dempsey. Who was Dempsey famous for imitating during rain delays? You've probably seen video of this.
I'm guessing it's would have had to been the manager before he was on the team before '83. So I'm guessing Earl.
He made fun of Fernando Valenzuela. He would go up to the plate with the tarp on the field, and he would have a hat, his helmet on backwards, a pillow stuck into his jersey because Fernando, well, was a little heavyset.
Yeah.
And he would do a fake left-handed swing, and he would go around the bases, heavyset, funny like Fernando Valenzuela, and would dive into home plate. Rick Dempsey might have been the funniest Major League player of his time.
I'm not doing too hot on these quizzes. I think I've only gotten 2 right.
See, I got you. Yeah, you got 2 right and 4 wrong, so that's my pop quiz for you. I'm going to give you a Z. You can give me a Pirates pop. You can do a Pirates pop quiz for me at some point if that makes you feel comfortable, because I feel I might answer some trick questions correctly. We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Well, I feel like for the common ones that a 26-year-old would know, I mean, obviously I probably should have known a little bit more about the 96 ALCS series, and obviously should have thought ahead and not just heard of 96 and obviously think of Cal Ripken breaking the streak, and should have dawned on me that, oh yeah, that's in October, stupid. What happens in October?
There was the pressure
playoffs.
of you remember the pressure you felt when a teacher just sprung a pop quiz upon you?
Yeah, I was just feeling the pressure. That was it.
Am I close enough to somebody to cheat off of?
Maddie, could you have helped him with any of those?
No. Well, you did better than I would have done.
Again, I was impressed. You got the Gold Gloves with Brooks Robinson right, because I wouldn't get the Roberto Clemente question the same. You know, how many Gold Gloves did Clemente win with the Pirates? I don't think it was 16, but I wouldn't be able to answer that correctly.
I was really hoping with Jim Palmer you're gonna ask what is the one thing Jim Palmer did that no other Major League pitcher has ever done. And that's pitch in 3 different World Series in 3 different decades.
That's right. 69, 2 in the 70s, and 1983.
And he pitched in 66, too, his rookie year.
That's right. Gosh.
Won a game against Sandy Koufax.
He was around a long, long time. And, again, he was my mom's favorite pitcher because of the jockey ads. And maybe that's the reason why when I would go looking through my dad's drawers for his baseball card collection, I would come up with, jockey underwear every once in a while, amongst a few other things that he didn't want me to see. But that's a conversation for another time.
It's not today's call.
Hey, look, there's the close music.
No,
probably not
Saved by the Bell
either. That's right, Saved by the Music. And should be fun tomorrow because we know we've got Kendall Rogers with us tomorrow. He had to postpone his appearance with us for a day because of, well, what happens when you fly commercial. And Aaron Torres joining us tomorrow, so it should be a lot of fun. And we get to wrap up the week with you on a Friday. So, guys, good show today.
Thank you.
Everybody else, have a great rest of your day. For Drew, for Maddie, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
What's he doing?
Oh, he's been doing that since he got those new Michelin Pilot Sport All-Season 4 tires.
Michelin, huh? Well,